Okay, welcome to another political nooner. Today is temperatures rising, fever is high. John Lennon lyric. Love John. I'm a big Beatles fan. Love John, my favorite Ruddle. Anyway, holy smokes, Blake, you were raising the ire of some of our leftist friends yesterday on a great show yesterday, but they were stumbling over the term globalism, which they are. You and I are both anti-globalist, and yet we're both very pro-Israel.
Yeah.
The Bible says that Israel is beloved of the Father, and that our own Christian, both of us, full disclosure, Blake and I identify as Christian people, both of us. And so the whole idea
Yeah.
that there would be any negative feeling about Jewish people or even the Jewish faith would be totally wrong. Our own faith is dovetail. Jesus said, think not that I've come to destroy the law and the prophets, which is basically Judaism. Think not that I've come to destroy it. I've come to fulfill it. You guys
Amen.
sacrifice bullocks and goats and lambs, and I am the sacrifice. I am the fulfillment of all that. Those are merely shadows of
Yeah.
what I am fulfilling. So in fact, we fully support Israel in terms of trying to. I mean, the offense that occurred on October 7th. Now, that doesn't mean we're ostriching and that we keep our heads in the sand. I think Mossad was fully aware that the attack was on the way. They're coming in with hang glider, little pilot things, like Little Nell. Send me Little Nelly.
Yeah.
James Bond, you only live twice, a little helicopter thingy. And they're flying over there and they're dropping bombs. And then, of course, they showed all the dead people and everything. And of course, your natural knee-jerk reaction was get angry at it.
Yeah.
But I calmed myself down that day, because I was so angry when I saw the dead women and there's the camera's coming in and it's got that first person perspective camera and there's a dead woman wearing white, so the blood really showed up beautifully again, and she's just dead in a van. They slaughtered these people, and then the ones they were kidnapped and threw on trucks and all this stuff. So I think Israel knew about it. I think they may have used it for political advantage to get some justification for going in hard after Hamas. If they did, it was a major miscalculation, and I don't think it worked on any level. It should never have happened. It should never have attacked. Should never have happened. And also, I'm a firm believer in the Holocaust. I've seen the pictures. My eyes tell me what I saw. All those bodies at Buchenwald and some of the other camps, famously from World War II, Auschwitz, notable among them. So, Blake, globalism. What's your definition of globalism for you? What do you mean when you talk about globalism?
Well, I view globalism as a group of people who want to live transnationally. They want our world to operate under a single government. They want a single currency. They want total monopoly, corporate monopolies. They want 100% society compliance. They want you to be cashless. That's the direction we want to go. What everybody's described as that sort of in the past we used to call it the New World Order. But
But
this
who
is a
coined
path
that phrase? Hey, hold on, Blake. Remember that? Remember when that became into our English usage?
George Bush,
George Bush.
President Bush first, senior, George Bush Senior said that. But the also when they look back to Ike, when he made the famous speech, on his way out, saying about secret societies and the danger the military industrial complex has.
Yeah.
He warned America about these groups. So did Kennedy, warned of these secret groups and organizing in behind. Duly elected presidents like we're seeing now. Like we saw in 2016, the same type of background people doing the same thing, pulling the same strings. Those, to me, those people are involved. They are transnational. They're head of multinational corporations. They have an alliance both with public and private sector. They create crony capitalist legislation that only benefits themselves. And they don't believe in what our former prime minister used to call us in. They don't believe in nationhood. they believe we should be post-national states. So that to me is what a globalist believes. A lot of them, there's other I'm sure there's differences between them, but some of them are gone to the extreme of a death cult, where we talked a couple days ago showing the side of them that believe there should only be 500 million people alive. Like there's literally a death cult amongst those elite as well.
Yeah, but, kind of genetics and
so you mix in all the crazy stuff, but ultimately it's power and money. It's the people who have money and power, want to control the world under a single agenda. And that to me is globalism. It has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. Quite frankly, anybody who would even think that for a second might be hiding their own anti-Semitism, because it's strong possibility they're on the left. And I'm sorry, the people that are protesting these days are supporting anti-Semitic people. And we're seeing that in our streets. We're seeing the Jewish synagogues being attacked, Jewish children being shot at in their schools. I mean, this is just, and that's coming from the quote unquote left, if we want to call it that, because that's where it's definitely coming from. In our own province, we had Selena Robinson, probably one of the top longtime BC NDP cabinet ministers, had to quit because of the anti-Semitism within Eby's cabinet.
Yeah, and keep in mind, American viewing audience, when Blake says NDP, this is a third party in Canada that we have. Fortunately, they lost official party status. They got obliterated because of their malfeasance over the course of the last 10 years. And that party lost. I think they're down to 3 seats, something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But in the province of BC, they're in power.
They're big in power. In here, there's a provincial level, like a state level, and then we got our Fed level.
Yeah.
Sue, speaking about globalism, Blake, Sue she's always tending the fires. So it's like we're on the good little choo-choo train here, and Sue's stoking the fires in the old coal car. So Sue brought this up while we're talking about all this stuff. And we'll make it big. Our governments that we had so much trust in can no longer be trusted. They are out to get us. German MEP Christine Anderson, the desperate attempt to roll out digital IDs, CBDCs, climate tyranny, among other things, is an effort to abolish freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. It's really refreshing to see that a lot of people are waking up to those issues and that they are seeing through it and beginning to realize what they're up against. Talk to people, end your silence, because with everyone ending their silence and speaking up, you break the cycle of the brainwashing and gaslighting. And Christine Anderson from this German MEP party, she has become a real hero, one of the strong voices for liberty as we see it, or as we would define it, Blake. So just wonderful. Well, it's been a hell of a week, very busy. LA up in flames, all sorts of nonsense going on there. Let's turn to a wise and old sage on, the whole idea. We talk about sanctuary cities, but, California, we mentioned yesterday, it's like it's become a sanctuary state, despite the fact that, in the suburbs and out there in the country, and there's vast swathes of red out there. But we're going to look at what Joe Biden had to say about the sanctuary cities and what he thought about them. Yeah, back the old Joe. 2007, Biden is asked if he were president, would he allow sanctuary cities to exist? His answer was no. He said that sanctuary cities turn into dumps, and the only reason they exist, well, let's hear Joe say it. Thank you, sir. Let's go.
You allow these cities to ignore the federal law regarding the reporting of illegal immigrants and, in fact, provide sanctuary to these immigrants.
The reason the cities ignore the federal law is the fact that there is no funding at the federal level to provide for the kind of enforcement at the federal level you need. Pick up the New York Times today. There's a city not far across the river from my state that imposed a similar sanctions. And what they found out is, as a consequence of that, their city went in the dumps, in the dumpster. Stores started closing. Everything started to happen. And they changed the policy. Part of the problem is you have to have a federal government that can enforce laws. This administration has been fundamentally derelict in not funding any of the requirements that are needed even to enforce the existing
So,
law.
Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Okay. Would you allow these?
All right.
There you go.
There's old Biden. Well, bring in the National Guard. Send in the Marines for the love of God. I'm not going to allow it. Not on my watch, mister. So Joe Biden coming around, doing the complete turnabout on that. Blake, thoughts on old Joe?
Yeah, well, it's old Joe in the 2007 presidential debates or for the leadership of the Democratic Party. So you saw Barack Obama on the other side. But sure enough, he went with Barack. And there's actually video you can find with Barack Obama saying the same thing. So this isn't anything new. These are, and I was listening to some podcasters this morning talking about exactly what's really happening. Again, what touching upon yesterday, these sanctuary cities are being funded by people to be opposition to Trump. That's all it is. They're going to amp it up. Apparently, there's a massive rally being planned right across the U.S. in most of these blue state cities. And be prepared, there could be mass chaos this coming Saturday. I think it's the 15th.
Interesting, right?
Sunday the 15th. Yeah, they're calling it it's a big, massive mobilization effort. And everybody's been saying the same thing. There's no way they would do this without funding. Yeah. And they're being paid by people or organizations that have been set behind to cause more and more chaos because they're saying to end the king. That's on the statement. There is no king. Trump is president. He is not a king. You have checks and balances. They are in place. So don't believe the BS that they're trying to run out there that he's not. They're trying to topple him just like they did in 2016. The same stuff, except they're not doing peaceful protests. This isn't sanctuary cities for peaceful protests. These are sanctuary cities to create a division in the U.S. to continue to break down the will of locals and eventually go to what we were talking about at the top of the show. It is a globalist view. They want to get rid of that nationalist pride that Americans have. And those people on that side of the spectrum definitely want to see a national, post-national state of the U.S. or break it up into multiple states. What is that would be the question I'd kick back to you is like, what is their ultimate plan here? To break up America and turn it into a balkanized state where the Democrats become separatists, just like they did in 1860?
Well, yeah. I mean, my own, tinfoil hat conspiracy suggests that the idea is to get rid of the Constitution. America is the one fly in the ointment for the global order, and therefore you've got to get rid of that American Constitution. How about America goes to war, loses the war against China? Let's pick China as a potential enemy. China, who's infiltrated into the U.S., Fang comes to mind, and so they've infiltrated. Dianne Feinstein had a Chinese spy chauffeur running her car for 20 years. So we know the Chinese are influencing in Canada. We know they're influencing the U.S. And so my response is the idea is that there's a war, China beats America, the Constitution is destroyed, and America comes and enjoys the rest of the globalist thing, and they'll get a puppet in there like Kamala or whatever, and she'll just echo what all the rest of these morons on the global stage are suggesting. Sue's got another one for us here. This is from Representative Annapolina Luna saying, Neville Singham is the man funding these riots. It's not about illegal Hispanics. They're just using them for propaganda. They are actual communists. Thank you, Data Republican, for the deep dive on this guy. So who's behind the anti-ICE riots in LA? Hundreds took the streets weekend, blah, blah, blah. You can read about this guy, but this character is, and his wife is also Project Pink or Pink something or other. She's also an activist. But Paula Luna of getting into Data Republican has just been excellent in following following the money, seeing who's doing what. But Neville Singham. So there's a name you'll want to remember. I think we'll be learning more about Neville Singham as we go forward. But you can certainly drop that link into the chat, Sue, for the people that you've done. Thank you so much.
I heard also that, and you may want to search this one out while we're talking, is allegedly one of the Walton family from the billionaire family from Walmart.
That's not alleged. That's been confirmed. They did a full page ad supporting the riots. So it's just crazy. But when they do this, there's a cost of praise. You got the Fetterman quote. You know, we got Joe Biden talking some sense a few years ago. Here's this is interesting. John Fetterman knows a thing or two because he sees the optics on these riots are not good. Cat Turd, our beloved Cat Turd, goes, "Whoa, U.S. Senator Fetterman writes, I unapologetically stand for free speech, peaceful demonstration, immigration, but this ain't that. This is anarchy and true chaos. My party loses on moral high ground when we refuse to condemn setting cars on fire, destroying buildings, and assaulting law enforcement." Full props to John Fetterman for that comment. You know, I'm not a big Fetterman fan. He gets a little flaky. Well, he gets a lot flaky on a lot of issues, but at least he's got his eyes can tell him it's not good optics. Unlike ABC, who we showed a clip yesterday, Blake, and they're going, come on, just handle it properly, please. The kids are just having fun watching cars burn. Well, this is just nonsense. This is like, Nero, don't bother Nero. He's just fiddling while Rome burns. He's just playing music. He's a music lover. I mean, it's absolutely mindless, out of control. Nonsensical.
Well, I just saw on YouTube, there was somebody posted a YouTube. They did a mashup like we thought would happen yesterday. We talked about that, of all the different lamestream news sources saying the same thing over and over and over, that this is mainly peaceful protest. It's like the summer of love of 2020. Mainly peaceful protesters. Don't let your eyes tell you any differently. This is peaceful, folks. It's like things are burning, people are being stoned, cars are being destroyed. It's like our eyes are believing not what we're seeing, not what we're hearing. But if you can find that mashup, it's another good one somebody put out there now.
All right, we got another one. I'm just telling Sue.
I just want to interject something.
Yeah, go.
Maxine, because of what Blake just said, Maxine Waters today was just saying, do not believe your eyes when you're seeing this is not what's happening. So she actually said that, don't believe your eyes. It's not violence.
1984, man.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Okay, go grab. Now, there's this cat. Blake and I were talking a little bit about this before the show. Grab that Cat Turd quote. This is interesting. There's a guy called the LA Scanner account. He was doxing and reporting. And the story gets wilder. This guy allegedly, and I'm not going to mention his real name or anything, but he has a criminal record, and he was in possession of a police scanner, or a scanning unit to tune in on police frequency, and then he was broadcasting where ICE was going. So not only is he a convicted felon, but now this guy and it's against his parole. He's out on parole. He's in a lot of shit right now. And this story just gets better and better the more it goes on. Once the FBI starts going, he suddenly wants to cry. No, that's not the quote I want. I want the one. I'll show you what I want, Sue, because I want to show what the crimes were, what this fucker was doing. It's from one of the quotes I give, is the second last one I dropped in. Okay. I've got the scanner mea culpa, but before that, there's one that I've entitled as Cat Turd Status, ending in 1189. Okay. And so what happened is that we find out what this guy did. That's what I want to show the kids, because he endangered the lives of these people. And there's this guy called 0 Hour. I guess the guy was offline for a while. He paid Chevers. That is a bastard. Yeah, he's fucked up. He is royally fucked up, man. So anyway, Catchard goes, hey, FBI, Dan Bongino tags these guys. Isn't it a major crime to post where ICE agents are staying? LA Scanner's been doing this for days. Holiday Inn in Torrance and blah, blah, blah. Torrance gives the address, confirm ICE agents are staying at this hotel. So this guy goes out, puts that information in the public sphere, doxes them. This guy, 0 Hour, had been offline for 4 years in terms of doing anything demonstrable. But he's a player, and he's an analyst. He's a systems analyst, knows his way around computers. He hunted this fucker down and figured out who he was, where he is. He did all the work. He's at war right now with Anonymous, the famous Anonymous. We are Anonymous. Yeah. Anonymous has been taken over by leftists. It's completely sold out to woke ideology, leftist concerns. This guy's going to war with those fuckers. But the next clip that I want Sue to bring up for us is the mea culpa. I've titled it Scanner Mea Culpa. So this guy, 0 Hour, you can go the 0 Hour on X platform. I encourage everybody to follow him. And he trapped them down. And so then this happened. Have you got it there? Okay, hang on. She's working hard here. It's been a busy day. We're out working on the deck out, doing some stuff.
Great weather on the island right now.
Oh, my God. It's summer's here, kids. Okay, so then this happens. He doesn't like it when the tables are turned. So 0 Hour and other people, 0 Hour put the information. This happened. I recently discovered several posts containing my family's name and home addresses. This is unacceptable and violates our privacy. Be warned, if anyone appears, I'm going to go get them. Okay, that's not the one. He left an official mea culpa. Go back to the first one you played.
Right there.
All right. Hey, Marty, how you doing, buddy? Okay. Oh, this is the beauty. This is poetry in action. This is the find out part of the fuck around. He's been doxing ICE agents. I want to issue a formal apology, he says. I should not have posted the locations of ICE raids and where they were staying as well. It wasn't just raids. He was identifying everything. And it went on and on, a litany of abuse. I will no longer do so. I've contacted the authorities to take responsibility, and they are currently reviewing my account to determine if any laws were broken. You motherfucker, you felon, you know you were breaking the law, and you fucked around, and it's find out phase for you. If it's found out that I violated the law, and you did, I will cooperate fully and turn myself in. You damn well better, because you violated your patrol, motherfucker, your parole. To those targeting my family, please, I'm begging you to stop. Oh, too bad. Oh, to those targeting ICE, I'm begging you to stop. They have done nothing wrong. Neither did ICE and do not deserve to be dragged into this. Neither does ICE. The anger should be directed at me, not them. Someone has already come to my home pounding on my door and demanding to confront me. This has gone too far. To anyone I may have put at risk, I sincerely apologize. That was never my intention. Fuck around and find out, you criminal scum. And I rejoice in Jesus that this criminal he is in hot water you cannot believe, because this is one of the most incendiary, pardon the pun, incidents of 2025. I mean, this is one of these LA riots are going to be one of the great stories of the year. That fucker is going to jail again, and there's no way he's not going to jail. And I love the fact Cat tagged Dan Bongino. Remember the guy with the motorcycle helmet throwing rocks? The FBI wants. Pam Bondi was out there saying, "Get this guy." I think they're going to get that fucker too. Rachel and Sue, I'm Blake. I heard about that scanner guy. Good riddance. Absolutely. It's a civic duty to report illegal activity. Absolutely. Yep. And this illegal guy, because ICE is not illegal. Is that a new hat, Rachel? No, Matthew, it's my old favorite. It's my old standby. Anyway, I'm just laughing my ass off, because here's a guy talking big, talking tough. Hey, here's ICE helping coordinate, doing his bit to fight, to bash the fash. Well, I'm telling you, justice is coming to his door literally. And the fact that people were, he's doing this thing and people knock on the door, you fucked around, you found out. Now, we are not sanctioning in any way, shape, or form people come to this guy's house, knock on the door, other than Dan Bongino.
Nor his family. He's right. Leave his family out of it.
Yeah, leave everybody out of it. But the point is that let the authorities arrest this guy. He needs to be arrested. He needs to be made an example of. And there's got to be heavy fines, heavy charges against all this organized chaos. And believe you me, it is organized. Do you have a clip, Sue, or that line where they were handing out face shields, vans were pulling out, and they were saying this is like thousands of dollars worth of face shields, a van pulled out, and they're handing the gear out. You could probably go face shield X and find it just with that.
Well, there were scenes where they're literally breaking up the cement and there was like, I saw one, it was some girl that was smashing out rocks in kind of a paved, it was like a decorative river stones and knocking them out. And these guys were walking with big chunks of cement and rocks in their hands. I mean, every one of those people should be arrested. I hope the cameras grab them all because that's a true insurrection. They should be getting every single one of them.
Yeah, but keep in mind, I mean, bro, you can't make a case for anything organized with some guy with a hammer knocking street ad hoc. I mean, could anything be more impromptu than smashing up a sidewalk? So now you have a weapon right handy.
Yeah.
To go attack. I mean, that's impromptu to me. That reads impromptu. But this does not read impromptu. No. This screams planning. So who is financing this? The distribution of bionic face shields to LA protesters during anti-ICE demos suggests a well-funded operation, possibly orchestrated by entities with significant resources. Craigslist ads offering up to $12,500 a week for protest participation indicate this is not spontaneous. With the National Guard deployed without gubernatorial consent, the funding source behind this apparent paid insurrection demands urgent investigation. You can make the thing go large, Sue.
Yeah.
There's the UVEX bionic face mask. You see them pulled up there and just sending it out. I think if you click on that little guy.
I see. Okay, sorry.
Describe where it just feels like something's going to happen and you're waiting for it to happen. And you can look around, you see the National Guard in front of the federal building, but as far as this intersection where we're seeing all this take place, there's no local police to be seen.
Yeah.
And we have people handing out masks and gas masks, and we just saw people graffitiing the sidewalk right in front of this truck, and we've seen people doing burnouts in the street. There's no local law enforcement around.
Let us clarify, because we've been showing a wide shot and from a different angle, a whole lot of officers on the other side of the federal building, almost behind you, and perhaps the visual is obstructed from.
So you can see the guy clearly in the truck. He's handing packages. Here's one for you, Billy. Jeannie, go ahead. Bash a fash. Here is yours. So somebody's paying for all that gear. We want to find out who's behind it. And we already got one name. The Singh guy, has already been mentioned. So we're going to find out as time progresses exactly who's behind this. And of course, the ante was upped last night when more Marines are at it. I'm hearing numbers like 700 Marines added to the National Guard that's already there. But they are up against literally an insurrection. And the word Sue mentioned today to me, Blake, that the word had gone out that the optics are so bad with all these flags, Mexican flags, anti-Vash flags, communist flags, but not a single American flag. So somebody was handing out American flags because it just looks better if it's like it's for America.
Well, they were burning them. There was footage of them burning the flags.
No, they can't burn the American flag.
They were burning the flags.
Burn them.
I watched them do it.
Yeah.
My eyes did not fail me on that video.
Speaking of flag burning.
Okay. Let's turn our attention away from the riots for a sec. RFK did a good thing. CTV broadcast this today. I go, now do sudden deaths, you absolute clowns. So this is one that Sue's got, Dr. Busy, Dr. T, 9FRK. You got that one? All right, here we go. This is great. This is great news from our side. Breaking, RFK Jr. has just fired all 70 members of the Center for Disease Control's something advisory panel. This committee has shaped decades of one-sided farmer-driven policies dealing with something or other. RFK Jr. calls it a clean sweep to reestablish public trust in some kind of science. Okay, so I think I've danced her up and kept everything in line with YouTube's stringent guidelines. Yeah. But wow, fantastic. All 17 gone. You're gone. You're fired. And we need this. Got to be gutted. Got to be done over. The high rates of autism, all sorts of things going on. That needs to be investigated. And let's follow the science. We're all pro-science here. Let's follow the science. Science means truth. At the end of the day, science means truth. Let's follow the truth. Just give me some truth.
Well, and I suspect a lot of those people that were let go, there's been a deep problem of conflicts of interest. Like you have these people that have been, allied in some shape or form, funded or paid for by big pharma, who sat on boards to approve drugs, which seemed, it's just conflict of interest. They need to clean house, start all over again, put some people in that are not connected to big pharma, regardless, any company, really, whatever industry you're in. You shouldn't have a government committee led by your own interests. That's where you step away, and that's where the public is supposed to be independent and free of that kind of influence.
Blake, I've been having a field day with this values. These, Islam is compatible with Canadian values. And all sorts of shit's going out. Carney's getting raised to hell and back by that one. Sue's got a link here. You've titled it Islamic Values. Yeah. And, so very interesting what's happened. Now, of course, again, like everything, I don't care if somebody believes in Allah or whatever. That's their business. Yeah. But when the belief or when you're acting out against the symbols of the nation, here they are in the Kafaris. And they're having a go time. Let her roll. Let's see what's going on here.
Burn, burn. Palestinians will return.
Okay.
Israel is a terrorist state.
Okay, Israel's a terrorist state, so we're going to burn a Canadian flag. What the fuck? I thought we were elbows up and they are compatible with our Canadian values.
Well, that video was in Vancouver on the steps of the Vancouver City Library, the old building. It's been around for a little bit, for a little while now. So but essentially, that's what they're doing. The funny thing is when they do research on some of these protesters that are all dressed up like Palestinians, they're actually the same people who put on face masks who are part of Antifa. They're also the same people run around with their Marxist flags during, what's the big May Day for communists. They're the same people. It's like they're professional paid protesters. Again, they have all the time in the world to march our streets, but do they have any day jobs? Like, what do they do for a living? But this is the thing, is Carney's right. He's put his credibility on the line by backing this kind of mentality. Talk about anti-Semitism. This is what Jews are afraid of in Canada right now. Canada has gone so far into anti-Semitism on the left that the problem is the left is somewhat in charge in Canada, and that's what's scary for them. And I would be nervous too. But I'll tell you this, if they start hurting Jews physically and killing them and doing the worst possible thing, then I think there's going to be lots of people rising up, putting an end to that, and put those people down quickly.
Although we're not encouraging violence in any way.
No, but these guys need to be stopped. If they're committing violence.
With YouTube stringent and keeping with YouTube stringent guidelines, we just want to hand everybody a beach balloon. Okay? Let's get more beach balls out for everybody. That's what we're all about. That's what we're saying. Okay, good message there. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to share this one myself. Time to boycott Walmart. Let's see how big this is. Boom. I love this. Time to bulk. Okay, gotta make it even bigger for you children. Hang on. There we go. Time to boycott Walmart. Walmart heiress Christy Walton funded a political ad campaign against Trump, published major national newspapers. The ad urges, I quote, nationwide day of defiance, calls for people to rise up June 14th. I'm sure they will. And here's the little angel talking over it. No Kings June 14, mobilize. And then blah, blah, blah. So this is Walmart. And I think Walmart's in the, they are fucking around phase. They are in the fucking around phase. I believe Walmart's due to hit the find out phase soon enough, but they're fucking around right now.
Well, they're the largest company that single-handedly destroyed Main Street, small town America, and that's just because they were allowed to import almost 80 or 90% of their products were being made in China. So yeah, they're definitely a Chinese influenced company.
Well, so Walmart, very interesting, because Walmart, one of the cheaper outlets, like it's a discount kind of outlet. You can buy a lot of, or traditionally, so you could go buy some cheap stuff at Walmart. Where'd you get that? I just went to Walmart. It's not like you were to, like if you're buying hi-fi gear or something, you're not looking to get an audiophile quad like this rig. Absolutely gorgeous. But, you're not going to get that at Walmart.
Speaking of Chinese shenanigans.
Yeah, Chinese shenanigans. Holy smokes, the Chinese doing shenanigans? Let's find out some more about shenanigans. This from New York Post breaking. A Chinese researcher was just arrested. What? After flying from Shanghai to where? Detroit, another blue city, caught smuggling biological materials from Wuhan, lying to federal agents. Don't lie to federal agents, leftists. She's the third Chinese scientist caught doing this in Michigan. What's with Michigan? Another Chinese scientist, Wuhan, charged smuggling illegal biologic materials into the U.S. of A. So Michigan, of course, is probably Whitmer. What is that idiot out? The governor of Michigan. A lot of trouble out there. And of course, it's been a hotbed for uprising and protest. Believe you me, Detroit is going to very likely on this uprising day they're calling. This is like the 1,000,000-mile pussy march where they all have their pussy hats. They've swapped out their pussy hats and they're all going to wear the Palestinian little scarf, the kajifi kafafo. And they're going to kajifi kafafo. And they're going to be kajifi kafafoing all over the United States. And I believe, Blake, have you heard this? We got some copycat trouble in Canada. Did you hear where some of our First Nation cousins, hi, fellow First Nations, apparently they're getting all crazy and they want to go and they want to protest too because everybody's having so much fun in LA watching cars burn. It's just good fun. They want to join in that kind of fun in Canada.
I think we're going to burn a car in the mobile home park.
This home
weekend.
Park? Good Lord.
We're going to light one up.
Holy smokes.
How's that one look? Could that be a good one? We could light that one up.
Look at that. Holy smokes. What the hell are you playing at? All right. Let's see what else we got. Okay. We had a big day on Parliament Hill, flag raising, of course. We love Canada. So this is the Flags of Diversity ceremony at Parliament Hill.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Can we do that one for us? Okay. Rich, do you have any thoughts on the global demographic collapse of first world countries? How do we meet economic demands for populations decline? That, unfortunately, is a result in large measure of there's a number of factors that cause it, Marty. Number one, well, it could be one or number two, birth control. Once we had birth control in, then you could have your fun. You could jiggy without any moral clause on it. It's Friday night. I'm just looking for Mr. Goodbar, and I have no consequences for it because I got the pill. It'll take care of everything. The morning after pill. Uh-oh, I missed my regular one. No worries. I got the morning after. So the pill comes into thing. Then we made it so hard for families to survive where dad would go and work. Mom would be home looking after the children, nurturing the children. Mom can't do that anymore. Where are the kids? Well, they're off at the daycare. Well, who's running the daycare? Don't worry. The state is running the daycare. Your kids couldn't be in better hands.
Well, before we had daycare, we were latchkey kids in the 70s. So, yeah.
Well, there was a latchkey, but I mean, I wasn't. I had a stay-at-home mom. I'm a baby boomer. This was my world. And so I wasn't a latchkey. My mom was there all the time. Dad was out at work. He'd come up. Wait till your father comes. So I'm scared to send the fear of God into you. Your mom would go, wait till your father. Oh, Jesus. And it's like you're looking at the clock. It's 2 p.m. You go, holy shit. In 3 hours, my life is effectively over as Dad comes home. Well, you little son of a bitch. You know, I got to take care of you, son. And so those were the days. So, So what's happened, Marty? We're the how do you put it? The contractors of our own demise. We're the architects of our own demise, Marty. But the whole thing, the system's corrupt. So whether you bring more people into it, without housing, without sufficient medical care, without sufficient skills of the people being brought in, all you're doing is putting further stress, especially on nations like Canada, where we have this very big, very generous, very fat social safety net that is straining, and the threads are fraying at every end. It's on the verge of collapse. And Canada, we just posted $43 billion loss in the last fiscal quarter. Over the year, actually, it was full year. Sorry, not a quarter. But you know what I'm saying? You can't, It's unsustainable. How many people are living meal to meal, hand to hand, check to check, paycheck to paycheck? How many people are in debt? How many people have mortgages? Yeah. Right? The amount of credit, people owing credit, is out of this world.
Well, just to piggyback on what you're saying, the cost is a major factor. I mean, it's the highest cost, though I've had huge arguments with lefties over this one, has been government. Government has increased the costs on people to a level that even dual incomes make it almost impossible to get by. And people can't have children when they're broke. But the other side of it is that let's say the neo-feminist movement also created a demonization effect to motherhood, like making it sound like it was a negative thing when it should have been promoted as a very beautiful way of life. I mean, it's a major decision for somebody to say, yeah, I want to be a mother. There's nothing wrong with being a mother. There's nothing wrong with a single income family too, but they demonized it. And you could go into conspiracy tin hat time on that. The people that want to enslave the world, that's the way you do it. You destroy the family, you break them apart, you make them into taxable units, and that's what you do.
I mean, the whole thing in terms of, well, what's the solution? It's a long way from,
reverse. It's simple. Reverse course. You got to change it. You have to have a revolution in the sense of a positive revolution where the message gets out there that we don't want high taxes. We want people to be able to find their own way in life, have endless opportunities, and that really families are a good thing. Mothers and fathers, and maybe 2 dads, maybe 2 moms in certain circumstances. But as long as, but the fact is, there has to be a parent that sticks with a child and helps them out when it's not good sending them off as young babies into the warehouse world, into Hillary Clinton's, takes a village group to raise a child crap.
Yeah, and again, more of a socialist rhetoric to put the thing forward. Sue, what was that great meme yesterday? We had the little girl, she's with her mom. It's like a 1950s cartoon, and the mom is making up the batch, and the little girl's going,
she goes, Mom, I think I'm a boy.
And what does Mom say?
Mama says, no, you're not. End of story.
Yeah, she goes,
she goes,
well, you're not.
You're not.
Mom goes, well, you're not.
Oh, geez.
So the little girl, Mom, I think I'm a boy. And Mom goes, well, you're not. And that's it. Case closed. We move on, right? So, I mean, so the common sense world that we once inhabited it's gone out the window through these progressive views, platforms, etc. Let's get to Parliament Hill. So let's enjoy the flag raising. It's got everything. It's just this post-nationalist bullshit that tends to separate us, pull us
Yep.
apart. So what I think, Marty, needs to be done, you've got to make affordable living for a couple to be married, as Blake says, add value to the role of motherhood, esteem it, value it, honor it. You know, we don't want any more of these cartoons or these commercials that are absolutely nonsensical, espousing this feminist, lonely feminist ideology. See that one with the truck?
Call it the cat lady ideology.
It's just crazy. All right, so here we go. This is Canada today. This is like our version of the White House. This is
Mark
Canada
Carney.
now. Mark Carney.
Raising the pride flag
Parliament Hill.
underneath the Indigenous flag, following the land acknowledgement. Welcome.
All right, so there you see, there's, you know, the glory of the rainbow flag, all the gay people.
There must have been at least 200 people there.
Well, just, you know, Nancy Pelosi applause all the way. So what do you think about that? Just the whole idea of this divisive nature of it, because when you have the gay flag, clearly that's not inclusive of people. What about our newcomer of Islam? They aren't keen on that whole gay agenda.
Unless you see
They
queers,
don't have the pride that way.
if you see Queers for Palestine shirts, you would think they do.
You'd think. But yeah, I mean, everything is wrong. And of course, the whole land acknowledgement. So here we have the Parliament Hill. They're acknowledging Parliament Hills on Indian land. Well, give it back to the fucking Indians, morons.
Yeah.
If
let's see how it goes.
that's only the logical, it can only be logical. If you acknowledge you're on unceded Indian territorial land, well, give it back to them, motherfucker. How come you've got the Indian land?
Don't Indigenous peoples get money now? It's almost like we're paying rent on their land.
Well, that's exactly it. It's a lease payment.
Yeah.
Well, I want my cut. I'm fucking
Doesn't
Indian.
Vancouver-
Well, okay, we need
Woo,
to
woo, woo!
let's do that. Reparations for Rachel.
Yeah,
Well,
fuck
doesn't
it.
the city of Vancouver pay money to the Indigenous peoples now? Because
Well, yeah,
it's basically
Well,
all-
there's a lot of lands that are around Vancouver that are under the ownership and still control the Musqueam band. But they've got massive leased condo towers and everything now.
Yeah.
They've turned over some lands that were under the city control. That a lot of these lands were donated originally to be used as parks and other facilities for the city that were turned back over as part of a land returning to the local Musqueam people, and which are just being turned into housing. They're building massive condo towers.
Boy, yeah. 40 goes, I want my cut damn straight. And what about you English people? You're the first people. You should be asking for reparations from all the newcomers. Every time a new boat lands in England, you go, hello, I'm a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant native indigenous of the fucking country. Give me a few quid, bloody hell. Okay, here we go. Blake and I have been following the antics of our new favorite minister of Canada. His name is Goopwacha Dingadang Tonga Dingadoo. I don't know. It's a long name. I can't pronounce it right. It's just kind of an approximation. But he's funny and we love him. What's he be late?
He's trying all his best.
The last thing he did, he gave condolences to the late Mark Carney. Apparently, the new prime minister's dead. Anyway, according to this moron, but you got to forgive him because he's only been in the country a couple of weeks, so he don't know our ways. He just don't know. But I'm not saying they aren't compatible or whatnot. Okay, can we find this guy? Apparently, he's been up to another one. He's done another one, Blake. It then never ends with this guy. This is about the third or fourth mea culpa, or this mistake. This guy.
Oh, he's got a bullseye on him now. Everyone's going at him hard.
Yeah. Holy smokes. Okay. Did you see that?
What are you looking for? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Sue's asleep on the job.
Yeah.
It's this guy, the funny minister.
Oh, you want him?
Yeah, funny
sure.
minister. Give me funny mister. Ginga Takotukidu. And he's from Gamta Guantagikade.
I was researching leases
He's
and stuff
fucking
for
great.
the
I just
Indigenous
love this
peoples.
little tomato. He's a lot of fun. Bring him up. Come on. What are you doing there? Give me a guy. Come on. Mime is money. All right, here we go. Here's a new one. Here's the latest one from him. Let's see what he's up to.
Oshawa.
Okay, let's see what violent offenders get therapy, job training, housing, full support system paid by taxpayers.
Through you, does the minister believe our justice system puts the needs of criminals ahead of victims?
Honourable Minister.
We have a well-developed justice system that balances the individual rights of those accused with the collective rights of Canadians.
The Honourable Member.
So you're saying victims' rights and criminals' rights are balanced?
Again, through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
It's a balancing act, and I can assure the member that the rights of victims are crucial for us.
The Honourable Member.
Do you think victims are adequately respected in the Canadian criminal justice system?
The Honourable Minister.
We can always do better.
The Honourable Member.
Should victims be granted more rights than they currently have?
The Honourable Minister.
I'm open to having conversations on what that could look like.
The Honourable Member.
So I understand offenders who have been convicted of violent crimes do have rights. They're given access to many services and resources, including, and there's so many, I'm going to read them very quickly. Have to take my glasses off for this. Substance abuse treatment, anger and violence management, sex offender treatment, cognitive behavior therapy, education and literacy programs, employment skills training, psychiatric care and counseling, addiction treatment, risks and needs assessments, housing and employment assistance, life skills and parenting programs, all of course at the cost of Canadian taxpayers. Can the minister tell me, of those list of services and resources, are they provided to victims of violent crime as well?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the issues that are identified by my friend opposite relates to those who are incarcerated. It is essential that those who are incarcerated, when they come out, are reformed and have the skills to be able to cope back in society if and when they're released.
The Honourable Member.
So what about the victims? Do they have any sort of need when they're in society after being victims of violent crimes?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it is essential that we support those who are survivors and victims of violence, not just violence, but who are impacted by the criminal justice system.
The Honourable Member.
So offender supports are centrally coordinated and funded, while victim supports are quite fragmented. Do you think that's fair?
Through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
A lot of this is undertaken by the province, Mr. Speaker. If you look at the work of CSC, it's done centrally
the Honourable Member.
Across Canada.
So clearly the minister won't take responsibility. So earlier I listed a number of services and resources which offenders receive. Can you name just one from that list, just one, that victims receive?
The Honourable Minister.
Unfortunately, I didn't write that down, Mr. Speaker, so I can't recall exactly what those were.
The Honourable Member.
I'm happy to read a few of them. Cognitive behavior therapy, education and literacy programs, psychiatric care and counseling, addiction treatment, risks and needs assessment, employment assistance and parenting programs, and all sorts of things like that. Is there one thing in that list that victims have access to?
The Honourable Minister.
Support for victims ought to be quite different. I know there's mental health supports, there's supports with counsel, there's supports that are embedded as someone goes through trial, and it is unique to survivors and victims that are quite separate from someone who's incarcerated.
The Honourable Member.
Earlier I listed them all, and clearly you can't name one. Is that correct? You cannot name one?
Through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
I've contextualized that answer, Mr. Speaker.
He would have been better just come out and say, I don't speak English.
He did pretty good there.
He's pretty good. I like him. There's something like him, but he's so jolly and friendly. So I give him an A+ on just being just a likable little schlep. But I mean, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, you know what's even more embarrassing? Look at all of our high-paid MPs at work there. Look how full the House was. It was empty. Nobody's there to ask questions. It was ridiculous. But on the similar note, our Minister of Immigration is not capable of answering a question. This is hilarious. You need to click on that link. I just put it in the private chat. It literally got so ridiculous that Melissa Landsman asked the questions like, what color is my shirt? She couldn't answer the color of her shirt. was that
All right,
pathetic.
have you got that one, Sue?
Yeah, I just put it in the chat,
Color of the
private
shirt.
chat.
There's the last one. Is the
Okay.
Minister of Immigration capable of answering a question? Is the title.
All
of it.
right, let's go.
Now we're
It's
moving.
another fun one with these banter back and forth, and it was so frustrating because you're going,
Answer
the damn question. How hard is it?
Our frickin' parliamentary system is just fucked up. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, here's more morons in action. Okay, let's make them big. Let's see how they get on.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for that question. So vetting security risk is something.
The honourable member.
Average time spent vetting each Canadian who comes here or each immigrant who comes here for security risks.
Minister.
So thank you again, Mr. Chair, for that question. We do have service standards. In my briefings, in the very short little time that I've been a minister, I understand we're actually meeting and exceeding those standards.
The honourable member.
Can the minister tell anybody in this House about any part of the process of vetting immigrants for security risks in Canada?
The honourable minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, for that question. We actually spoke about it, and it's in the estimate. We have biometrics.
Do you feel like our immigration system's well
The
protected?
government has committed to letting in hundreds of thousands of
I like
immigrants
this
into
guy's
Canada.
suit, though.
How many of these people will be allowed to come here without comprehensive vetting and interviews?
The honourable minister.
Well, all immigrants that come here, whether it's the international
Look at the eye
students,
blinking.
whether it's the temporary foreign workers,
Panicking.
are screened by biometrics. There's comprehensive screening that is done.
Member.
The minister
Well,
confident that the
Gilbert
amount of time spent on vetting immigrants before they come to Canada for security risk is sufficient to keep Canadians safe? Yes or no?
Minister.
Well, we work very
See the
hard
blink?
at IRCC with our partners.
Okay, I can't take anymore.
Well, it gets even better. She's like, listen, can you at least answer this question? What color? Melissa Lansman goes, what color is my shirt? And she wouldn't answer it.
Well, with the way she's blinking, she could be colorblind. But listen, here's the deal, Blake, because it's 12:57, so we only have a little bit of time left before we shut down for today's episode.
Some happy news?
This hour has gone by so quickly. Yeah, so you got some insight or some word on the Trump-Musk bromance. They broke up horribly. Everyone was in tears except for Whoopi Goldberg. But for the rest of us, we're all wondering how the two boys are getting along and what's the word on the street?
Well, let's just give you this link real quick to put up. Don't worry, not the music one, but I think we should put this one up just so people can see what we're talking about because I think they'll know what it means. There, just put it in there.
Glory Doge status.
Okay.
Glory Doge.
Yeah.
Status.
So there are all kinds of discussion out there that Musk and Trump's spat is coming to an end. So it
Okay.
looks like they're all having a bromance, getting back together again. So there's all kinds of memes up there. And the other is that we're starting to see Elon. Everybody, there's that famous movie, Say Anything.
Yeah.
John Cusack. But yeah, it looks like it may
It's
have
a Trumpy bear. I love Trumpy bears.
Trumpy bear.
I love a Trumpy bear. Well, nothing can make me happier. There's Elon out there playing the love song, and there's Trumpy bear. Just wanted to be back and be pals again.
Well, it looks like Tesla stock has been soaring all over this, so it's popped up back up there. It's one of the links I put in there earlier. It's to Barron's showing that the stock, and also they're actually declaring that the feud is over. And matter of fact, you can actually see some of his retweets is of the president and supporting him.
All right, now here we go. Here's Tesla Inc. 325 points.
Yeah, click on 1 month. Click on 1 month, and or even 6 months would be a good up above there. Yeah, click. Oh no, down right down in the line. You're on 1 day. You'll see that there's 30, and then there's 1 month and 6 months. Right up above. Right?
Okay.
No. You're right up. Yeah, right
1
there.
month, 5 days. It went down.
Go to 1 month.
Oh, looks
And
good.
then go to
over-
6 months.
Up,
There.
down.
So it's starting to make its way back up again. So it's getting its
down.
bump.
Yeah.
They're saying it's because it looks like Trump and Musk are becoming buddies again.
Yeah, over here in the 5-year, it's still growing. There we go. So they cut along and then boom, boom, boom. They're dancing. So anyway, things are going good for the little Tesla stockholders. If you're a Tesla stockholder, congratulations. Things are going good. Looks like the boys are getting back together. 12:59. Blake, tomorrow we're not going to be in at 12 noon. We're going to be in at 3 o'clock. Blake, did we get you for the 3 o'clock?
We're on for 3. Yes, we are.
This hour went by so fast, Blake. Unbelievable. I want to thank everybody for being here. Please give us a thumbs up on the program. Give us a like, all that stuff. And subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific. And then we'll be back for Thursday and Friday at 12 noon regular. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. Love and kisses. Bye. Peace and love. Bye.